Welcome, Wanderers, to the Massive Sanctuary Clipcast. I'm your host, Cliptus. Our expert today is a variety streamer, a Diablo partner, and one amazing content creator. This is Nacho Chips. Nacho, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Hello to all of your Cliptonians.
Well, I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for doing this with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. To get us started, why don't you let everybody know a little bit about yourself, what games you play, when you started gaming, and then what brought you full circle into Diablo 4?
Sure. Oh my goodness. So, well, first off, the games that I'm currently playing are Diablo 4, of course. I also play World of Warcraft, and I just started playing Final Fantasy 14 online a couple weeks ago, like a month or two ago now.
That's awesome. I actually played a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 and I really enjoyed it.
It's so cute. Like, how can you not?
Really great story, very, very story driven. Is
Yeah,
that the
and
kind of gaming that you like? Story driven games?
honestly, I like a little bit of everything, so that's why, I like to dip into different pools here to get my fix of everything.
Oh, that's
But a
awesome.
good story is a great hook, so
Oh, I agree. I agree. That's what got me hooked on Diablo. The to the very first one, that first intro when you first get started in Diablo 2, I was done. Where did you start your gaming career? What got you into gaming?
oh man. So honestly, it started when I was a wee Nacho. I want to say all the way back to when I was 5 years old. That's when my uncle would start letting me play on his PlayStation 1. Um, so we started I kind of got thrown to the wolves. I played his Resident Evil.
At 5,
It was the
nice.
first game I ever played. And then PlayStation 1 had these demo discs, so I would play the demo disc games, and that's how I got to, first dip my toes in. But it just kept going from there. I got my first system, GameCube. I started becoming a PC gamer in high school, and that's when I was done. I was cooked.
That's awesome. Do you remember what your first PC game was?
Oh my God. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Nice. That is awesome. I played a little bit of roller coaster too. That is very fun.
Yeah, I was very into like Sims and stuff like that, and not the Sims, but also Sims.
Okay, yep, makes sense. So as we mentioned, you are a Diablo partner. What was the experience like getting into that program? Everybody that I've talked to that has been a Diablo partner has had a different experience. What did you go through when you were first getting introduced into the program?
Honestly, it was so nice. Like when they first approached me, like very chill, but I was of course terrified. Um,
Me too.
because I've only been streaming for 2 years now. But I've loved Blizzard ever since high school and before. So, like the passion's always been there. But I was definitely um I guess like really surprised and really nervous when they first mentioned it to me. But it made a lot of sense. The opportunity came up when I was gonna host the one of the sanctuary sit downs.
Nice. And what is Sanctuary Sit Down for anybody that hasn't heard of one?
So basically, what it is after some of the dev updates, they will grab one of the devs. In my case, it was Aislinn Hall, and we'll go over onto a Discord stage in the official Diablo 4 Discord server, Sanctuary. And it's just a one-on-one chat, really super casual, and other everyone in the community is welcome to sit and listen as an audience member, and you can type in questions in the chat. So it's just like an extra little way for us to kind of engage with everybody.
That's cool. And what got you involved in the Sanctuary Discord?
So it all started with those dang emotes. That they have very cute emotes.
Okay.
Sometimes you just join a server for the emotes.
Uh-huh.
That's how it all started. And I ended up making friends with everybody. That was right around when I started streaming too. So I didn't even join as like a content creator. I joined just as a Diablo 4 enjoyer.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, and as time went on, I eventually joined the moderation team. So I've been a mod for like a couple months now, and it's just I don't know. I really like just helping people in the community. So that was kind of my hook, and I've only gotten deeper and deeper as I've been there.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations on that, on both of those. Those are both very big achievements.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool. Season 9 is about halfway done. What classes do you enjoy the most? Do you have a main class? And what part about this season have you enjoyed?
Oh. Well, I have a class, all right. It's Necromancer. Uh,
Nice, good
I
choice.
only play Necromancer. I dabbled in other classes, during the betas. Like I tried a Sork, I tried a Druid, and then I tried a Necro, and I was like, oh, this is it.
That's the one.
So, Necromancer every season. Um, I really enjoyed this season. Um, Honestly, I'm trying to think of what my favorite part of the season was. Just the powers. I know that's like, there's powers every season, but they were so cool this season. Like I actually felt powerful with them and like using our Herodric spells, it wasn't just stuff that was happening while you were playing. Like it was another extra thing that you had to do. And that little change up just really did it for me, I think.
That's cool. So I have dabbled in every class almost every single season, and every season I love to run a mini necromancer, whether they're good or whether they're bad. What is your favorite necromancer build?
So that's something that we have in common. I really do enjoy Necromancer as well. And I want to say I have the most fun with the non-meta classes, and Minion has not quite made it to meta yet. They've had their shining moments. Blood Golem, Hannah Naz mages this season, which is actually what I'm running this season.
Nice.
But I always start leveling a Necromancer as Minion Mancer. Like it's just you just have to. And I guess I liked Minions the most because of the class fantasy. I feel most like a Necromancer when I'm commanding an undead army. Like it's just it's just chef's kiss.
I 100% agree. Is Diablo 4 the first place that you got into the necromancer class?
Actually, it was Diablo 3.
Nice. Okay. Did
Yeah,
you play minions there too?
I did. But believe it or not, I was actually a wizard main on Diablo 3.
Oh, cool.
So, you would think that I would play Sork in Diablo 4, but something about the Necromancer.
That is very cool. I actually got my very first experience with the necromancer in Diablo 2. And in Diablo 2, they let you summon so many minions. Because not only could you summon a whole bunch of minions you could get, but you could also revive monsters that you killed. So you had this like massive army, and that was all I wanted. I didn't really care if we did a lot of damage. I just wanted this big, gigantic army running around behind me, just killing everything as we went. It,
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, it is a very, very fun class. So you've been doing the Hand of Nas. Do you like the
Yes,
new mages?
I do. I like them. I like that there's not one thing, but two things that makes them huge now. So,
Yeah,
like the Hand of Naz makes them big, and then on top of that, there's a Heretic gem that you can use that makes them even bigger. So I'm running around with these like 13 mages that are 3 times the size they normally are, and it's fantastic.
it is really awesome. I love things like that. Any ability that changes something in the game. So like metamorphosis in season 2, where you turn into the bat whenever you evaded, or something like that where it takes your mages and they become gigantic. I love those. Those are very, very cool abilities to put into the game. So, what part of Sanctuary do you enjoy the most? Everybody has their favorite activities that they do throughout the game. What part of the game in Diablo 4 do you like doing the most?
Oh, I'm so guilty for that. It's definitely the pit. I
Uh,
live in the pit.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
That's definitely where it is for me. I just like that's kind of all what it's about in Diablo or just in an ARPG. Like, you build yourself up to test your might and get more and more powerful. And the place that I feel that the most is in the pit. I just love climbing those pit tiers. It's like addicting.
I agree. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Do you normally push for the unofficial leaderboards? Have you ever done that before?
I have not tried to do that before. I will say like I say I'm slightly competitive. So,
Okay.
I don't want to settle for just doing okay. Especially when I'm playing a non-meta build, I really want to see how far I can push that, how much I can make it shine, you know. But I've never done anything like topping a leaderboard. Um, but I like to be competitive with at least myself, you
Oh,
know.
yeah. That's honestly always your biggest competitor is always going to be yourself. So in World of Warcraft, you said that you played other Blizzard games, and I've seen you play World of Warcraft. What classes do you play there, and does it have any carry over to Diablo 4?
Sort of, we'll say.
Okay.
Um, So it's very funny because like I always say that WoW and Diablo are like my yin and my yang.
Okay.
In Diablo, you're leveling and progressing very fast. You're making millions and billions of gold. In World of Warcraft, it's a lot different. It's, just a weekly little crawl, very hard to make gold. Um
Yeah.
so, WoW is more something that I'm constantly working at, whereas Diablo was a lot of like instant gratification.
Okay.
Um
I see that.
but and the yin and the yang as well is that I actually play a holy paladin in World of Warcraft. So I primarily raid heal. So it's very, very different from a necromancer.
Very different from a necromancer. That's cool. And so you do you enjoy raiding?
I do, at times it can get a little frustrating because again, I'm slightly competitive. So,
Okay, slightly. Uh,
there's normal heroic and mythic rating. My bread and butter is heroic rating.
Okay.
And the guild that I'm in, like we're a pretty plucky bunch. It could take us the entire season to get AOTC, which is killing the last boss before the content becomes irrelevant.
Okay.
Um, but we get there, and going through that journey with, 10 other people every week is a blast.
That is very cool. So I played a little bit of World of Warcraft myself for quite a long time when it was early on. And I was actually a raid leader. This was the time when 40-man raids were still a thing.
Oh, goodness.
I had to corral 40 people into killing one boss. And surprisingly, probably not to most people out there listening, I played a warrior. I play a barbarian. It all just kind of comes full swing. But I did actually play a druid healing in PvP.
Ooh.
I could do it. I could heal in raids and stuff too, but I mostly main tanked. But I played a druid in PvP and I absolutely loved it. So it's definitely a big change of pace. So that's pretty cool that you kind of have that yin and that yang balance. So we're getting towards the late game, middle of the season right now. Is there something that you do other than your yin and your yang that to keep yourself motivated through the end of the Diablo 4 season? What is that for people that are looking for some fun and exciting ways to mix up the seasons towards the end of it?
Well, I would say, I guess I'm a little bit different because I really, I split up my time between a bunch of different games, and, I'm also like working a lot, and, I only have so much time for the Diablo. So for me, it's like I kind of take little bites of the season all the way up until the season is over. And I think additionally, something that really helps is setting a goal for yourself every season or setting several goals for yourself, because if you smash one goal, think of something else even better. So for me, like my goal is always pit 100. I gotta get to pit 100 every season. Most seasons I make it, some seasons I don't,
Okay,
but
right.
it's giving yourself something to strive for and say like, like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, definitely keeps me going, like, because you need a reason to keep making yourself better and better. So I think setting a goal for yourself really helps. And then also just knowing when to like take a break. I guess you don't have to do everything in 2 weeks.
Yes, that's a very big thing, and that's a very good point. And I think a lot of people get very hyper focused. They have to get there as soon as they possibly can, as fast as they can. They trade, they get ask people for gear, they get a lot of help, they get power leveled. When and then a week later, 2 weeks later, they're like, "Well, I just did everything," and you kind of skip the whole like journey to get there.
Exactly.
So I could see that being really good. You set a goal for yourself, you break it up a little bit. Playing other games is nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually a really great way. And with access to all of the games that we have available to us now, it's pretty cool. I think it's really, really awesome. That's a very good approach. Do you do any fun or like wacky challenges throughout the season ever?
Oh, that's a really good idea though. No, for the most part, it's just trying to get to pit 100. I will say like sometimes I'm a little bit foolhardy with the builds that I choose,
Okay.
but I'm also very stubborn, so I'm like, I'm gonna make this work, no matter no matter what I
Okay.
have to do.
I've been there.
Um,
Yep.
but I haven't thought of anything like silly to try yet. But now, Now that makes me want to try something. What about you? Have you done anything like that?
Yeah, there's been a bunch of different things. We did an all unique build and see how far you could get to push with no aspects on. A couple seasons ago, I did an Uber Lilith kill with only yellow gear on. Just a whole bunch of just fun things to do. Before we had max level of 60, I would try and kill Lilith with characters that were like maybe 75 or 80, somewhere around there. Just there's a lot of different fun things that we try and do to just give us a challenge, some goals, like you said, just setting different goals, which is very, very fun to do. Okay, so
Oh,
that's some
absolutely.
really great advice for people. Split it up a little bit. You don't have to rush. The game's going to be there for 3 months ish. Okay, I like that. That's very good. All right, so we're going to get away from gaming for just a couple of minutes. Nacho is your handle, Nacho Chips on Twitch.
Yes.
Nacho Chips SX, right? Oh, not Nacho Chips
Yes.
X. Okay. Where did the name come from? And because we're talking food related here, what are your top 3 favorite foods?
Oh my goodness. I love food, first of all.
Me too.
But where did Nacho come from? So Nacho, it's not my name, but I pretty much respond to it by now. If someone on the street called me Nacho, I'd be like, huh? Um,
Yes, hello?
but the origins of the name actually come from World of Warcraft. My handle that I use, I only play that Holy Paladin.
Oh,
Um,
wow, that's
but
awesome.
it's another chipping away kind of thing. But my Holy Paladin's name is Nachtigall, which means nightingale in German. But naturally, nobody anywhere could ever pronounce it right.
Of course.
I've heard every single pronunciation possible. So at a certain point, it was just like call me Nacho. And when that started, it's just from then on out, it was just always Nacho. Um, and I guess like a little side lore, I guess I don't really mention this too much a lot because it's small, but what I played New World for like a year.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and I wanted to be Noctigal in New World, but it wouldn't let me. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna be? So I wanted to be Nacho Chips, and that was taken too. So I made myself Nacho Chips X, and that's where this handle was born.
That's so
Officially,
cool.
officially.
So, so somebody took your name and that's why I wouldn't let you do it?
Yep,
Oh, that's a
they should give
bummer.
it back.
They should. Yeah, you should email them right now.
As for my favorite foods, it's almost easier to name what I hate
Okay,
than
all
what I
right.
love. But I definitely have a couple favorites. I will say sushi.
Oh,
Can always go for
great
sushi.
choice.
Hot pot, specifically K-pot. I
Okay.
can always go for that. And then pizza.
Oh yeah.
P-
Man, nailed it.
These are
Okay.
3 foods I could have anytime.
Yes, those are really good. I absolutely love sushi. So I'm actually in Hawaii, right? That's where I'm living.
So you have the good stuff
But yeah,
there.
I love sushi. I get it all the time. What are so you mentioned this. What are the foods that you hate? Now I'm very curious, actually.
I have 3 foods that I will not touch
Okay.
with a 99.5 foot pole. Mushrooms, olives, and blue cheese. Just get
Wow.
away from me.
Mushroom. Okay. The blue cheese would like the mushrooms and the olives and then the blue cheese. Well, I can see the blue cheese. Blue cheese is kind of funky, but man, do I love myself some olives and mushrooms. That's so fun. Okay, well,
No,
I'll eat
if
all of the mushrooms and the olives for you.
yes, if I get a supreme pizza, I'm 33 years old. I will pick off every mushroom and olive on that piece of pizza before I eat it.
Okay, well, that's fair. And I'll throw them onto my pizza because I love myself a good supreme pizza. I'm originally from New York, so we had some really, really great pizza.
Ah, you went from like land of perfect Italian food to land of perfect seafood.
I know, we're just going to the food capitals of the world. The next place we got to end up is Japan and get some of that delicious food over there too.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Okay. So for your name, I'm going to just go back to this real quick. Are
Yeah.
you German? Do you have a German heritage, or that was just something that you really liked the sound of?
That was something I really liked the sound of. I think when I first started playing WoW, I was listening to German music actually,
Oh,
and
cool.
the album I was listening to was called Noctical.
Oh,
And there it
perfect.
was.
Okay.
There's always a very specific reason why you pick it at the moment, I feel.
I agree. I agree. I actually, my name also, Cliptus, came from World of Warcraft too. It was just a random name that I typed in and it worked. And then everything since then has been Cliptus.
And that was you for the next 20 years. That's perfect.
Exactly, right. Well, that's cool. So we should be seeing some updates for season 10 coming soon. The season of chaos powers, if I remember the roadmap correctly. What do you think is coming, and what do you want to see out of something like chaos powers?
Well, um, I guess what I always see coming is they're gonna rework something. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna expect something that we know to be completely flipped upside down. So I always kind of look forward to learning those things, if that makes sense, like reacclimating myself to the changes. But as for the chaos powers, I haven't looked into much of like the roadmap or what they might be planning with that. But if I were to think like what kind of powers would we expect next that we haven't already gotten? Um, and I almost really hope that they tie it into something lore related. Like I want the powers to be a hook into the lore of the season, as they usually are.
Yeah, that would be very cool. I am very intrigued. I don't know what chaos can be. It seems like chaos magic, something. Well, we already did witches, so
Yes.
so I'm very, very curious to see what we're going to be doing. And they also said on the roadmap that they're going to be updating the infernal hordes.
Oh,
So how do you feel about the infernal hordes? Is that content that you enjoy?
they haven't touched it since it came out.
Hmm.
But I do like going there. I guess like not it's because of the rewards, like you can get pretty much if you're needing anything, a little bit of everything. If
Everything.
you need more herbs and abducite and gem fragments, just go do a horde. If you break the temper and you need a scroll, go to the horde.
Yes.
But I would like to see the difficulty
Okay.
ramped up in there, because at a certain point it's just too easy.
I agree. And in the launch of the infernal hordes, for anybody that wasn't here then, the infernal hordes actually had ranks, not just wave. And the ranks went up to rank 8, and rank 8 was very tough. And what was very cool and very unique about that season is that there were now two different types of builds being built. You had a build that could clear Pit 100. Then you also had builds that could clear rank 8 of the Infernal Hordes, which were completely different because you had to clear monsters very quickly. You had to have big, widespread AoE, and then you had something that could kill the bosses, and the bosses were very tough. So it was very cool. I agree. The difficulty scaling gave you something else to build different paths of your characters, so that's cool. That's very cool that you brought that up.
It is. You need a reason to, I guess, like constantly working on your build already, but now having to think, well, I should probably throw together a horde build now to do those, take advantage of that shiny armory.
Mm-hmm. The armor is amazing. Yeah, I agree. So back to the roadmap here, and you said you didn't get to dive too far into it, so hopefully this isn't too much of a spoiler. But
No, you're all right.
2026, they said that a new expansion pack is coming. Hidden in there, and they tried to cover it up just a little bit, but people got it. They said a new class is coming. In a brand new expansion pack, if you had a top 3 wish list, what would that wish list look like?
Oh, okay. First off, I need the stories to knock my socks off.
Okay,
Like,
number 1.
I love a good chunky seasonal campaign. Keeps me hooked in. So that would be number one.
Okay, number 1.
Really good story. Um, Number two, would be a new class. That's a complete game changer. Very different from everything else that we have. Like a paladin.
Okay.
So then maybe I could be one in WoW and Diablo,
Yep.
but
Okay.
we've been told many times that's not what it's going to be. But
Okay.
it's like unless.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
um, and then this is more of a personal thing that I just always hope for, but a command skeleton button.
Oh, I've heard that. Yes, I have heard that. So the last expansion pack that we just got, we were left on a pretty big cliffhanger.
Yes,
So I'm hoping we're gonna get your first number 1 wish, a nice meaty conclusion to wherever this is cliffhanger is heading. And I won't spoil it for anybody. But if you haven't played it and you skip the campaign, don't do it. Go watch it because there's a big one in there.
it does.
Yeah. So for the paladin class, I don't know if you got to see the interview, but there was an interview done, and Riker did this interview, and in it, they didn't say we're getting a paladin, but when it was asked, like, how paladin like is going to be the new paladin that's going to be in the new expansion pack for the paladins. There was no denying it, but there was no confirming it. So it definitely alluded we might be getting your number two wish as well, with maybe something paladin like. We don't know for sure yet.
I
But
don't know what they're gonna call it, but it's going to be holy, perhaps,
I think it's going to be
and
holy.
I'm all for that.
Me too. Yeah. And I know that the community, especially the people out there that are very vocal, really, really want this paladin. So, with how well the devs have been adjusting these last couple seasons, I really think we're going to get something that people are going to like. So, pretty excited to see some more information on that. And then, obviously, as a minion necromancer, you want that attack command. I've seen that in a lot of places, which is some really great feedback. So, hopefully, they're listening to that because it's really cool. Like, it would be really cool to focus your monsters.
It would just fix so many of the things that people gripe about playing Minion Necromancer. It would, like they complain about the AI all the time. It'd be like, no, fixed. Just tell them where to go. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you're like attacking a boss and most of your damage is coming from the minions, and then some ads spawn, and then your minions are like, never mind, and they just run
yeah,
away.
or you're in an Infernal Horde and they're just, all over the screen,
Yeah,
not doing anything.
right. Yeah. So hopefully we see some great changes. But I'm gonna put my faith in whatever's coming up, and hopefully we can see some really really good changes coming out of that. Okay, so let's talk just a little bit about you and the Diablo 4 community. As a streamer and a content creator, what has been your favorite part of streaming and then interacting with the Diablo 4 community?
So in a way, they're kind of one and the same. One of my favorite things about streaming is getting to interact with the community. Because I'm a fairly introverted person, so I guess like through the streaming, I get to meet people that I would have not have met otherwise. Like for instance, what we're doing right now,
Mhm.
is it something that would have not happened before if I weren't streaming. So it's getting these new experiences. It's getting to just talk to other players and just we're just other people. So just connecting to everybody on that level is something I really enjoy, and just helping everybody, and because we're the Diablo community, we're awesome, so we do.
Yeah, I agree. I have had an amazing experience with the community as a whole. Everybody is very, very nice. And I've played a lot of different games, a lot of different types of games, and most games, the community as a general, there's a lot of toxicity out there in gaming, but I don't really get much of that here, which is very, very cool. There's a lot of really great people that are just here to game and have fun. So I really appreciate the time that you put in to the community because they deserve it. I think that everybody out there that's going to be watching this should stop by Sanctuary, say hi to you. I stop by your stream, but we'll get to your socials towards the end of this here. You said you've only been streaming for about 2 years now. I've actually
Yes.
been doing about the same myself, and I started in a much smaller game than Diablo 4. I started in virtual reality, which was very,
Oh,
very funny to watch on stream live. But for anybody that is out there looking to get maybe into even just streaming or Diablo 4 streaming, do you have a couple tips for some first timers out there that want to make that jump but might be a little scared to do it?
I do, absolutely. um I guess there's a couple things
Okay.
that you really want to focus on. First thing is you need to be consistent.
Yeah.
So you got to pick your days and your times that you're gonna do the streaming and stick to it. Um, no matter how many people are there, even if you're just by yourself, like if you just keep showing up on the times that you say you're going to, it will it will work. Um, and then also, pay really close attention to the quality of your sound and your video. Those are really big things that I see right off the bat. That's like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a rookie mistake. You got to get your sound good. Have
Yes.
a
Yeah.
friend come and sit in your streams and just be like, is this okay? Is this okay? Just do what you have to do.
Yep.
Um, and I think the third thing would be to not compare yourself so much. Do what is making you happy, and people will want to see you enjoying yourself and having fun. So if you're spending the whole time stressing about how nobody's there, or you'll never be as big as this person, like they'll see that. So, those are my three little tidbits, I think.
Those are actually very, very good. And a lot of people think that you have to be streaming all the time. You have to do this like 8 hours a day, every day to make it somewhere. The consistency is key, even if it's 3 days a week. If people know that you'll be there on the days, like you said, they'll come back.
They
Especially,
will. They'll show up. They'll be there before you.
they will be, right? They'll be there waiting. Actually, very funny story. I was prepping my stream the other night and I saw someone in chat just like typing, and I hadn't even launched the stream yet. They knew when I'm going to be there. So people know it, and that enjoying yourself is probably the best tip that you could give for that. So that is a really, really great tip, because if you're not, why would somebody want to come and watch if you're not having fun? So that is very cool. So hopefully that will help people get that first step into enjoying some stuff. So this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for all of the really great advice. For everybody out there that is listening, because some of the platforms we're going to upload this to, they won't be able to watch the video. Can you spell out where we can find you in the world of content creation so they can come check you out?
Absolutely. So I don't have many, but I can primarily be found on Twitch at Nacho Chips and then the letter X after it. Nacho Chips X. My YouTube handle is also the same. There I will upload shorts and VODs of the stream as well. So if you can't catch the stream live, those are a really good place to find kind of like everything, just nice and organized there for you. And I'm also, I reside in the official Diablo 4 Discord server, Sanctuary. That one is discord.gg/Diablo and then number 4.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening today. I will catch you all on the next episode of the Masters of Sanctuary podcast.
Thank you.